Welcome to Securing Employment. My name is Michelle O'Quinn. I'm the job developer here at SCARE. As the job developer, I work with participants with their resume and the cover letter. Not only that, I assist with job search and all the different search engines like Indeed and Glassdoor, and then also setting up profiles on governmentjobs.com and things of that, and other programs such as that. Um, I send out job leads to my participants, and then I try to stay up to date with any job fairs that are going on around San Diego. If you would like assistance with any of these items that I have listed, you can give me a call. My number is 619-328-0676. Again, that's 619-328-0676. And again, my name is Michelle O'Quinn. Also, my email address is Michelle, MISHELL, at scareinc.org. So today we're talking about securing employment. And so a few things that we're going to be going over is revisiting your whys, learning the work culture, being irreplaceable, offer your assistant, dependable and punctual, flexibility, positive attitude, keeping your skills current, meeting the deadlines, and things to consider before calling it quits. So these are just a few tips to keeping your job. So when I'm talking about your whys go back to why you had accepted the job in the first place. Why did you apply? Why did you decide to set foot out into the workforce instead of staying at home? What are your whys? So I just have a few whys here. Everyone is different. When you talk to your friends or family and ask them why they decided to step out into the workforce, their whys may be a little bit different. But I just put a few whys here for us to go over just briefly, not too much in depth, but these are just a few whys just to get your mind flowing as to your own whys. So a why may be stability, that you need to have stability in your life, that you would like to have stability in your life, that you don't want to have to wonder where your money is coming from, how are you going to pay this bill or that bill. Stability can be that you know that at your employment you can always gather a couple of more hours to make ends meet for the month. You know that if that your check is going to be a certain amount and what bills you can cover. Your paydays are pretty stable. So you know what bills you can pay on particular paydays with what check. Stability is usually a huge why, and it's usually the first why. Health benefits. Some, especially government jobs, they offer great benefits, health benefits. Also, to avoid stressful job search. Like, just because you're looking for a job does not mean that the job is ready to accept you. So I've had, plenty of participants who said, well, I've been sending out job applications here and there and everywhere for the past blah, blah months. And it's just like you have tons of people who are sending out job applications here, there, and everywhere, months after month after month. So that job search or looking for a job, it can be stressful. The whole process can be stressful. So, staying at your current place of employment, just to avoid a stressful job search, that could be a why. Rebuilding work relationships. When you're the new kid on the block, it can be kind of hard to build those work relationships and trust within the employees. Also, the quality of life. So once your income changes, San Diego is very expensive. California is very expensive. Many of us are living check to check, and that missed check because you're trying to switch over jobs can make it very uncomfortable for a short period of time, but that could be your why as to why you don't want to leave. Also, um, the quality of life that you want to provide your family. Like you may want to do extracurricular things outside of the house, or go see a museum, take your children to go see, you know, um, the wild animal park or whatnot, just to get them out and to expose them to different things. Also, another why to stay at your job could be the change in leadership. Not everyone's leadership style is the same. You have some leaders that are very authoritarian, where it's my way, the highway, do what I say. You have their leadership style might be very micromanaging. They depend a lot on micromanaging, checking on your day to day, your minute to minute to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do according to how they said you're supposed to do it. You also have the total opposite, where you may have a manager who just says, this is the job that needs to get done. I don't care how you get it done, just get it done. Very laxed on their leadership style. Also, another reason to keep your job is less than 12 months of being employed. So for me, when I was hiring staff, if I saw a 3-page resume and it spanned over 5 years and you had 25 jobs, that is a red flag for me. I remember when I was younger, people would say, oh, well, the more jobs you have on your resume, the better. That is not true. That just lets me know you can't keep a job. So, having less than 12 months of employment at a particular job, that is definitely a red flag. And we're going to want to know why, or why do you have all these jobs on your resume? Because again, when we go back to the work culture, it's all about the thoughts and beliefs and things, how you feel about the company. So it's just like, how do you feel about the companies where you left? Anyway, so yeah, you want to visit those whys. So work culture, I was just bringing that up. So your work culture is the attitude, beliefs, and behaviors towards the company. And these things are influenced by the company's overall goals and the leadership. So one of the main things is that everyone in the job place or in the workplace, they need to be on the same page as what the goal is of the company. What is the company's goal? And then also to the leadership and the leadership style. When it comes to that, it's like, how do they make sure that there's accountability and that people are accountable for what they did or what they didn't do? Equity, like how do you make sure that things are appropriate across the board? Communication, what is the communication style? Some leaders like to email a lot. I had a supervisor who sent memos all day long. You could have like 6 memos in one day when, you just could have had a conversation. But, like every time I turned around, there's like another memo coming through the facility. And then recognition, how is good behavior and bad behavior recognized or dealt with within the work culture? How do they address issues within the work culture? Be irreplaceable. So it's like, do your job to the best of your ability and then ask to be cross-trained. So this means that you're learning how to do someone else's job just in case they're not there, because collectively, as a company or as a group, you're accountable for the product or the services that you're delivering. So if that person isn't there, or you notice that that person's is calling out a lot, and most of the time it's because something personal is going on in their life, then it has to be cross-trained. So then that way it doesn't slow down the productivity of your company or your group, or it doesn't stop the services from coming through, because everyone is cross-trained and they know how to do each other's job. Also, offer your help. Just because, I mean, everybody has their job, yes, but sometimes we know when that person's struggling, like offer some help, that builds camaraderie, and then contribute to the team. So if you have an idea that might work best or might work better for the team, like offer it up. Don't be holding back your ideas, like, contribute to the team. Punctual. Um, Being punctual and being on time shows respect for others and their time. You're recognizing your coworkers, you're recognizing your boss, and that everybody else has something going on, not just you. And so it's a matter of respect that you're on time for things. And if you're not going to be on time, at least say, hey, I'm going to be late, or, let other people know that you might be a little bit late, because then that gives them the opportunity to figure out whether or not they want to engage in this anymore, or if they can address whatever it was that you were supposed to meet about later. Also, being punctual is keeping you're able to keep up with the company productivity and the workflow. So you're not, slowing down what's going on in the workplace because you decided to be late and everybody's waiting on you. Again, it's you need to be respectful for other people and their time, and that time is something that we can't get back. So wasting time, you can't go to the bank and buy more time. You know, that's something that we can't get back, and so I think that it's very disrespectful when someone who is constantly wasting your time. And then also being punctual, you're allowed, or not allowed, but you can, have the maximal achievement with minimal waste. So it's just like you're trying to get in as much as you can productively and with little wasted time. Flexible, versatile, and adaptable. So with your hours, sometimes it depends on where you're working. So when I worked in a preschool, there would be times when, parents, their schedules would change. So there would be a time when everyone would have to have their hours changed, because you wouldn't have a bunch of children coming in at 6 o'clock in the morning anymore. Parents' schedules change. So now most of the kids are coming in at 8. And then that means that the parents aren't picking up until 5:30, 6 o'clock. So then it meant a later start time. And then again, there might be a shift to where parents are dropping the kids off earlier, and they're dropping them off at 6. So then they wouldn't pick them up until about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So just being versatile with your hours according to the need of the company is what I'm getting to. Not all companies are that way. Some companies can be 8 to 5, or 7 to 4, and then that's just the company's hours. That's it. Don't pass go. That's just what time we're open and what time we're closed. But there's other companies where they have several shifts available, like a full-time shift, a part-time shift, a split shift, but you have to look at your own schedule and your own what's going on in your own personal life, just to see how flexible you can be. There should be like some flexibility, even if it's like I can only be flexible on a Tuesday, I declare, then if that's your declaration, then that's your declaration. You can only be flexible on Tuesdays, but it's very helpful to the company and to your team and your teammates as a whole when everyone is able to be flexible. Job sharing also too, that comes with that flexibility and being versatile and being cross-trained to where it's just like you can ask a coworker, hey, like I'm having trouble, getting a hold of such and such person. Do you mind giving them a call and email for me? And that way I can get some kind of update on what's going on with this person in my case. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with job sharing. It doesn't mean that you don't know how to do your job. It just means that, you might need a little help. It's okay to need help. A positive attitude. A positive attitude can help you deal with stress and negative situations in a healthier way. And things don't always go as planned, but with a positive attitude, you know that things are going to be better. So some things that you can do is spread jokes and not gossip. I mean, like the chisme is the chisme. Like, people are going to talk, but you don't have to be the one to spread it to the next person. Like spreading the chisme does not have to be you. Spreading the gossip does not have to be you. You can be that one person that's like, oh, thank you for the info, and kind of like keep it to yourself. But it's better to share like laughter and jokes and not gossip, because a lot of times gossip can backfire and be very hurtful. Take real breaks. Oh boy. So I had to learn this at my other job, and it's because I would take my lunch break at my desk. So was I really taking a lunch break? No, not really, because I would sit at my desk and I'm still answering the phone. I'm still answering emails. I'm still working on a report because I'm sitting at my desk and eating my lunch. Also, too, like depending on where you work, if you're in, if there's not a designated break room, people might not see that you're on your lunch break or on your break and still grab you to do a phone call, still grab you to meet with the client, to still grab. So it's just like take real breaks, which means you're going to need to communicate with everybody that you're on a break. Leave me alone. Yeah, I need a break. I'm like, I really, really need a break. So expressing that as well. Another thing is like listening to music. Nobody's saying that you need to like blast it. It doesn't have to be blasted. You can play it like really low, like play your little happy song, whatever makes you happy. And then have something to look forward to after work. So it's just like, yeah, you're finished with your work day, and just have something positive. Like I'm gonna go get my ice cream sandwich, some boba. Well, it doesn't have to be, but whatever your happy place happens to be after you get off of work, just have some things like that you can look forward to, like as a reward for yourself when you get off of work. Um, Furthering your education. So again, with that whole cross training, being of service and being help to your coworkers, doesn't mean that you need to load yourself with everyone else's job. It just means that like if you have time to help and you're able to help, then thank you. You'll be met with some gratitude, at work. And it's about, keeping your job and being irreplaceable, and that like you're gonna, that people can depend on you to help out without you overloading yourself. So again, know your limits. But to further yourself in the workplace and give yourself more opportunities for advancement. You can return to school to get more training, especially if your workplace has told you already, the education needed um, for each position. And like, let's say that there is a position that you want to get into, you know, um, that you can return to school and get the education needed for that, or maybe take some trainings that offer a certificate. Um, and then, like maybe you need to type 65 words per minute in order to get that better admin job, and then also too, you can volunteer. If you have time, you can volunteer to gain some experience. And also, as you're gaining experience, you're also um, obtaining like different skills that you can bring to your other job that might make things easier, to the flow, to the workflow, and how you guys get things done. Staying on top of deadlines. So to increase performance, so higher focus and concentration, to improve time efficiency, and urgency beats perfection. So getting it done is better than it being perfect to some people. It depends on who you're dealing with. Higher standards, the more time you give management, more time to review it, time to go the extra mile, because you can add extras to whatever the project is, just to give it a little pizzazz, and then less stress due to bad planning. So nobody likes trying to do a report all at the last minute. You want to be doing a little bit at a time, and so that you're not stressed out because the deadline is tomorrow when you had a whole week to work on it. More satisfaction, a boosted sense of accomplishment, and then you celebrate the small wins, and your motivation, self-motivation will continue. And setting good deadlines is an important skill to reach your goals, and they will motivate you and help you stay the course. So it's about setting good deadlines. Tomorrow is not a good deadline. 5 minutes from now is not really a good deadline when you got other things to do. So time management and, setting good deadlines and staying on top of those deadlines, especially when you know when they're going to come. But also, too, there are times when you have to be flexible because there might be something that just comes from left field and it has a crazy deadline. Just acknowledge that the deadline's crazy and just get moving. All right, another issue with job retainment is dressing for success. So many times people, they get very comfortable in their workplace, and then their grooming starts to wither. So no matter how long you've been in that workplace, no matter how comfortable you are, you always want to make sure that your hair is brushed and groomed. If you're in a workforce program, or you're going to school or training for a professional field, you want to make sure that your hair is brushed and combed and neatly maintained. If you didn't brush your hair in the morning and you think we don't know, we do. We know. So just go ahead and bust out that brush and that comb, and handle your hair. Make sure that you look very well groomed. It doesn't matter how comfortable you are there and how comfortable you think that other people are with you. Make sure that your hair is neatly brushed and combed and maintained, and that you are dressed from head to toe for success. This also means your makeup. So no club makeup in the workplace unless you work at a club. You want to keep the natural makeup, nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. Men to tidy up the facial hair. If you got patches, you might, fix that up. If you can't afford to go to a barber, then, just hit it up a little bit with the razor. But like I said, you want to dress for success. Dress for success from head to toe. Don't get comfortable. Also, you want to wear clothes that fit well, not too big, not too tight. Wear clothes that are age appropriate for you, and that fits the company dress code. And wear clothes that are well maintained. So nothing that is fraying, faded, missing buttons everywhere. things of that sort. Here's some examples of, clothes that may fit too big. If you look down at the leg, you have clothes that are fitting really big on her and makes her look frumpy. So try to find clothes that actually fit you, try them on, and again, we're trying to dress for success from head to toe. If you have the means to iron your clothes, like this guy over here, like iron those t-shirts, try to make sure that you're wearing things that fit you. You see the whole facial hair going on, he needs to fix that. Um, wearing clothes that are age appropriate for you. Big clothes look very frumpy. So just always try to dress for success and dress your best. So that's also a part of, retaining a job, is because like if you're not dressing the part and you're not dressing for success, then a lot of times, as shallow as it may be, if you're not dressed to represent the company, then the company will not ask you to represent them. And you might get passed over for some job opportunities because you're not dressed in the way that reflects the culture of your employment. So again, you want to dress for success and don't get comfortable. Before ghost quitting or quitting, I had this question like several times. What is ghost quitting? Um, Ghost quitting is basically when you're there, but you're mentally not there. You are mentally checked out, like you've already quit your job in your mind. You already know what your job entails and what you should be doing, but you are not doing it. You're doing other things, and basically ghost quitting, like the little ghost in you has quit, has left the building, and then you're just your body is just there at the job. And then quitting. So before you decide to quit or even ghost quit, is make sure you have another job lined up. So make sure that you have something on the back burner that's ready to be put on the front burner before you decide to quit. Because that is a missed check, that is a missed income. And unless you are accustomed to falling, free falling financially, I don't recommend that you ghost quit or quit without a job lined up. Um, Also, to put away some reserves just in case there is a lapse in payment between this job and your next job, because not all jobs pay on the same day. So you have some jobs that pay on the 1st and the 15th, or just twice a month. And then you have other jobs that pay every 2 weeks. So it doesn't matter what day of the month it is that they last got paid. The next time you get paid is going to be 2 weeks from then. So their time schedule might be different from, the new job and the old job might have different pay schedules. So then there may be a lapse of funding and you scrambling, trying to make ends meet because there's a lapse in payments or in income. And then also, please remember that California is a fire at will state. So if you decide that you are going to ghost quit, your employment may make you quit real quick, because some jobs will not tolerate ghost quitting and may walk you out the front door, before you're ready to quit. Um, and it's legal. California is a fire at will state. They can fire you for whatever reason they want. So decide quickly if you're ready to move on. And my best advice is to make sure that you have a job lined up. So just a reminder, just in trying to retain a job, just revisit your whys. Why did you accept this job to begin with? Why did you decide to step foot into the workplace? Learn into the workforce, I'm sorry. Learn the work culture. um, what is the goal of the company? How do they communicate with each other? Um, what is the dress code there? How do the employees feel about the company? How serious do they take their job? Also to be irreplaceable, offer your assistance, be dependable, be punctual, respect other people's time, flexibility, be flexible, try to keep a positive attitude. Things are not always going to be unicorns and rainbows, and we all know that it's not going to. But always keep a positive attitude, not saying, oh my God, things could be worse. No, we don't want things to be worse. We want to keep a positive attitude, and sometimes going back to our whys and what is it about this company that we loved and that attracted us to it, can bring us back to a positive attitude and a positive space. And then also having a positive attitude helps us to address issues easily. It also assists us in, getting some of that bounce back to where it's just like we're not dwelling on, negative things for too long. It's like, okay, that negative thing happened, and so what? I'm moving on. Also, you want to keep your skills current. If that means going back to school, maybe getting a certificate, just so that you can provide yourself opportunity to move up, or even to get a better job. And then meeting deadlines. If you're the one that's making the deadline, make good deadlines for yourself. If someone else is giving you deadlines, just try to be flexible and have good time management in reaching those deadlines. And then also, consider some things before you decide to call it quits. So make sure that you have that job lined up, making sure that you've put some reserves away just in case the paydays don't line up. So, and I would like to thank you for going over just job retainment and how to keep your job. These were just a few tips. There's a whole lot more. But these are just a few things, that you can think about, for right now as to how to keep your job, making sure that you're, spreading laughter and joy and happiness and not gossip, and making sure that you're contributing to a positive work environment. And hopefully you enjoyed yourself and I didn't just talk your ear off. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.